There's one thing we like on this channel more than obscure cards. It's probably budget cards. And last time I was in my local game store, I was going to pick up some singles for my Tazri deck, as well as some singles for my $50 budget league deck. Come to find out, like 6 or 7 of the cards I was going to pick up anyway are all in the new Sultai Arisen deck. And I thought, what better day than the day that he has arisen to talk about some cards out of Sultai Arisen and some other precons, terrible segue, that have dropped drastically in price after seeing a reprint in the brand new, what is it, Dragonstorms of Tarkir? What is it? Tarkir Dragonstorm Commander precons. These are some of the most significant price drops I've seen in a while. So some of these, if you've been looking for them for a while, or if you yourself are in some kind of budget league, these are going to be perfect. The thing that made me want to make this video was I was going to pick up an Obnix the Fallen, and he was like 13, 14 bucks. And Eric, the boy down at the shop, was like, I think Obnix is in the Sultai precon. And he looked up the deck list and he's like, yeah, it's in the precon. And he's like, so are 4 of the other cards you were going to pick up. So I just decided to buy the precon. Had a bunch of other good stuff on it. That's beside the point. The point was, as you can see here, Obnix is the cheapest version you can find is $12.45, except for the version that is from the Dragonstorm Commander deck that is $2.96. So yeah, if you want to shave $10 off on this one, which I very much did and do, this is a great card to pick up for $3. All your landfall decks, your lands matter decks seem great. I think Windgrace is Jund, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, something like Windgrace that cares about lands hitting the battlefield. Just really good. My Tazri deck has like 6, 7 lands hit play a lot of turns, so Obnix just kind of pops off. Great pickup, serious price drop. Same goes for Atsushi. The cheapest version outside of the Dragonstorm Commander deck is $4.78, while the Dragonstorm Commander version is 82 cents. So if you want to save $4 there, makes treasures when it dies, or has some impulse draw when it dies, 4/4 flying trample for 4. Seeing as a bunch of other dragon cards shot up, it's super ironic that some of these dragons shot down, but we'll take it. Atsushi's a solid card. So is Silen Carrier. This is one that's only $2.81 at its cheapest version. You can now get one for 83 cents. So, you know, if you're like in a deck where everything's trying to be under $1, again, if you're in like a budget league, or you just have $1 on you and you're like, now I can pick up a Silen Carrier while I'm here. Cool. Really good. Just a mana dork, 2 mana, defender, has hexproof. One of the best. One of the best. Really like this card. Speaking of one of the best, Seedorn Muse is one of the best Magic cards ever printed, being a 5-drop that untaps all your permanents at the beginning of each player's untap step. This one actually saw more of a price drop in the Murders of Karlov Manor Commander, but I completely missed it, so I'm going to bring it up here. You can get one now for around $6, when before you could get one for around $10. So, you know, not super significant, like a 40% price drop. So, you know, I guess when I put it like that, it is pretty significant. If you've been wanting to pick one up, now's the time. Staff of Completion is one that I picked up when it was around $6-7. The cheapest one you can get now outside of the Dragonstorm Commander is $5.45, while the Dragonstorm Commander version is $1.67. Insane card. It literally lets you sack some of your own stuff, add mana, proliferate, draw. It untaps itself for 5. You have to pay life for all of that. The most useless resource. Doesn't matter how much life you're at if you're winning. And for a little over $1, yeah, really good. Dolphy Voidwalker is one of my favorite cards of all time. It was super high price, more around 20 when it first dropped, went down to around 10. Outside of the Dragonstorm Commander, the cheapest version you can get is $8.52, but the Dragonstorm Commander version is $4.45, being Graveyard Hate. That lets you cast something that you hated out of a graveyard for free if you sack it. So good in Reanimator. You can keep looping it in and out of grave, especially paired with something like, I don't know, Sun Titan. One of my favorite cards. Now it's, within the price range that I feel like a lot more people can try it out. And, I'm the Graveyard deck, and I'm still saying, solid card. $4. Try it out. Gerrod is one that seriously could not have seen a reprint at a better time, because the $50 budget league, which went really well, by the way, I'm going to be making a video talking about that, so just hang on, hang tight. I was going to put Gerrod into my first version, but it was sitting around $4 or $5 and it couldn't make the cut because, your deck has to be under $50. We just finished our first round of pods, so now we get a $25 upgrade on our deck to put in cards, and the Dragonstorm Commander dropped Gerrod to 55 cents. So it's safe to say he's going straight in for the $25 upgrade, as well as $24.50 worth of other stuff. Probably a Craterhoof Behemoth? I don't know, we'll think about it. Gerrod, being a Golgari creature that lets you fling creatures at each opponent that you can sneak into your hand out of grave, is exactly what that deck's trying to do. If you're something like that, Give it a try, 50 cents. Mirin of Clan Neltoth is another one that was like super high priced when it first dropped way back in the day. Shot down, went around $8 to $10 for a while. At this point, you can get one for like $3.50, but in the Dragonstorm Commander, you can get it for 61 cents. So again, this is like a little over 2 quarters to get one of the most powerful reanimation commanders, creatures ever printed. I think that's probably fair. If you've been looking for a commander to build, you've been like leaning towards Reanimator, maybe wanting to give it a try, 60 cents, pretty low risk, and Mirin is extremely strong. You can kind of just throw your favorite big stuff into it, small stuff to sack outlets, have a blast. Lord of Extinction, the cheapest version you could get outside of Dragonstorm Commander was $6.97. You can get one for 94 cents now, which is nuts. Lord of Extinction is one of my favorite win cons back in my Teneb days. Lord of Extinction plus Altar of Dementia can pretty much most of the time mill one player out. But in my $50 budget league deck where I'm running Gerrod now, plus Lord of Extinction, that's disgusting. But even outside of that, if you're just looking for a giant creature that you want to reanimate, maybe you're also in like a Jund Fling deck or something, 94 cents, a creature that scales off of every card in every graveyard. We did it, boys. I feel like a real Reanimator player. I got to play with Golgari Grave Troll, and I got to play with Life from the Loam after years of not playing with them because of either price or just being like, I don't really need the dredge in my I'm a different kind of Reanimator deck. I don't need it. It's so good. It's insane. And Life from the Loam, seeing a reprint that before it was around $8 to pick one up, now you can get one for $3.75. Yeah, this one immediately into Tazri. This one immediately into the Myco Tyrant $50 budget league deck. It probably is going to go into Goshinte as well. It's insane. One of the best cards ever printed, and now you can have one. And now you can have your very own for $3.75. 2 mana to get back 3 lands is gross, but being able to replace your draw with a mill 3 every turn, especially in Myco Tyrant, like I don't need to draw at that point. I'm just getting more and more and more and more tokens for free. I'm a bit of a caveman when it comes to Magic. I'm not going to lie. I don't look at spoilers that much. I don't look at deck lists that much. I enjoy opening packs and enjoy opening sealeds as opposed to getting singles. I mainly get singles, but I do enjoy opening sealed a lot. When I was recommended this precon, I knew like it had the 7 cards I was going to buy. So I was like, hey, that's already cheaper than the equivalent of the 7 cards I was going to buy. I'm just going to get the precon. Didn't look at the list, just opened it. When I tell you that I had an audible yelp when I saw Living Death, not that it's like a hyper expensive card, not that I could have not ever had one, couldn't have traded cards for it. I could have. That's what I mean. I'm kind of caveman. There's certain cards where I'm just like, if I come across it natty, it's going in. I'm not going to hunt it out, not going to search for it, but if it searches me and finds me, it's going in. Living Death is one of those cards, so when I saw it, I was like, oh, you're going into Tazri immediately. Like I said, not very expensive. You could get one for $3 before this set, but now you can get one for $1.47. And for 3 and 2 black being a board wipe that then puts all creatures from the graveyard into play, all creatures that were in play into the graveyard, yeah, in most of my decks, this is fucking disgusting. I know I keep bringing up my Myco Tyrant $50 budget league deck. I'm proud of it. It performed really well, and there's a ton of stuff that dropped in price because of these precons that is going right into that deck immediately. Conduit of Worlds being one of them that's going into the $25 upgrade immediately. You could get one for $375 before, but now you can get one for $209, so not a significant price drop, but little over $2 for a 4-drop artifact that lets you play lands and lets you cast something out of your graveyard once a turn, as long as you're willing to like not cast something else. Yeah, in my Myco Tyrant deck that's based around just comboing out and then hiding those combos in the graveyard and then sneaking them out a turn, this is perfect. Gixs is one of those ones that like interests me as a monocolor commander because he just looks disgusting. I do want to put him in a deck. I don't think any of the decks I had. Oh, he might be good in the Exodus deck because I could see myself drawing a lot of cards in that deck whenever a creature deals combat damage. Oh, it's a token deck. This is going straight into the Exodus token deck. This is disgusting. Before you could pick one of these up for around $6.50, $6.58. You can get it now for $2.97 from Dragonstorm. Being a 3-drop that turns every creature that deals damage to opponents into card draw and life loss, that's for your opponents too. Not only does it make opponents want to attack each other, which, you know, always good. Also, like I said, in like a token deck, will draw you a ton of cards, and it has a built-in win con that lets you discard from your hand to cast for free off the top of opponents, which, yeah, could win a game. Grand Crescendo is an insane X-drop instant that creates a ton of tokens and makes your board indestructible, and the cheapest you could get this card was $13 before. You can get it for $4 now, so if you want an incredibly strong board protection piece as well as token creator, which again, my Exodus deck really does, this is amazing. This is a really significant price drop on this one. And then finally, we got the EDH Classic Skull Clamp. The cheapest version of this that you could get before this set was around $7.30, $7.39. But now in Dragonstorm Commander, it's $5.78. Being an equipment gives +1/-1 when the creature dies you draw 2. So in a token deck, one of the best draw engines out there. So pick up all of these. Like, you could literally drop like 15-20 bucks and get everything we talked about today, which is insane for how good these cards are. I'm not going to talk your ear off. Comment, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. If you want to show some additional support like the people you're seeing on screen, check out the Patreon for as low as $1 to have a direct hand in some of the weekly videos, as well as some polls, and the Touchgrass podcast, which we're going to start filming again here soon. I appreciate you guys' support. Let me know how you're going to utilize these cards down in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.